Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching us from. Welcome to Channel A TV. This is Davis, live here in Seattle, Washington. I'm so excited to have my special guest this afternoon for me, Miss JAMI. JAMI FORSETH is actually the reigning Miss Montana, U.S.A. So let's welcome her into the program. Miss JAMI, welcome, my friend. It's good to see you, as always.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
All right, congratulations for actually becoming the newest Miss Montana, U.S.A. 2021. How does it feel?
It is a dream come true. I have worked a long time for this, so I'm just really excited to represent Montana this year.
Absolutely. Montana, the state of Montana should be proud. What are you so proud about the state? When you mention Montana, you know, we have a lot of followers from all across the world, across the globe. So explain something that people should come and visit Montana as a reason. Why should they come to the state of Montana instead of going to New York or LA or Seattle or something like that?
Honestly, you get something different from Montana than you do going to big cities. We have two national parks, Yellowstone National Park and Glacier National Park, just to name two beautiful places that have awesome scenery. So if you're wanting to go on hikes and see animal or wildlife, that's the place to go. And our culture here is incredible. If you get a flat tire and are on the side of the road, so many people will stop and help you. It's just the small town. It's a big, small town, and I love it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you grew up, I know a little bit about your history, but you grew up in a small town yourself, and you did some awesome stuff that I can't wait to share with our audience, because when they look at you, you don't exactly look like the things that we're going to be talking about. So, but before we do that, let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about your background in the fashion industry as well as in pageantry as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a great conversation with the Queen, Miss JAMI FORSETH. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, thank you for joining us. If just tuning in right now, live with Channel A TV, we're having a great conversation with the Queen. We are so excited because you have a very interesting story. JAMI, you grew up in a small town. Tell us a little bit what's more interesting about your life growing up.
Well, something unique to a lot of pageant girls, I'm assuming, is my background with agriculture and raising animals. So I grew up in Huntley Project, super small town. I think between the junior high and elementary, there was less than 200 of us in my school. And I was really active in 4-H. So I showed pigs, goats, horses, dogs, any animal I could be around, you name it.
You said pigs too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So I think you don't get grossed out easily, right?
No, I don't. My pig was actually one of my favorite pets. I would give him marshmallows and donuts, and I taught him how to sit. I would take him on walks. He was this 400-pound animal that would lay in my lap and take naps with me. I loved him.
Oh my goodness. And he still lived after I gave him all that type of food.
Yep.
Okay.
Pigs, actually, people don't know this, but they love sweet things. So we'd go to the bakery and get some of their leftover donuts and stuff, and he loved it.
That's amazing. So for those of you that are watching, here is take a look at what Miss JAMI here has been doing since she was a teenager. Look at that, feeding the animals, sleeping with the animals, side by side. Very, very interesting. So JAMI, if you look at the picture on the right side at the bottom, you look like you're about to beat up somebody. So tell us a little bit about that moment right there.
That was actually at a high school outside of Missoula, Montana, where I live, and I got to teach a self-defense seminar to over 50 of the boys and girls.
So I also got informed that you're a black belt in martial arts.
I am. I have a first-degree black belt in Chi-To-Do, and I'm a certified Krav Maga instructor.
And so how tall are you, JAMI?
I am 5'11".
So you're 5'11", which is pretty tall. And you know, if you met a guy who's 6'5", a football player and stuff, like, do you think you can take him down?
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay. So let's just leave it like that. Oh yeah, but it's great having you. On a serious note, thank you so much, definitely, for making the time to join us today. And we know that this journey has been, you know, it's a long time coming. Most of the ladies that you competed with, some of them, they started when they're like 5 years old, you know, 10 years old. And tell us a little bit about history. What made you start competing in pageantry?
Well, pageants aren't super big in Montana. A lot of people are really involved in agriculture, and Miss Montana seemed like something unachievable. I remember in elementary school, Miss Montana came and sang the national anthem, and she was a celebrity to me. I was starstruck. And when I was about 13, 14, my older sister decided to compete for Miss Montana USA. And so I got to go watch her compete, and she competed twice, got top 5 both times. And I just remember being in awe of these women on stage. And I knew right then, I was like, I am going to Miss USA. So since that day on, this has been my goal.
Wow. And you mentioned something interesting, Miss USA, which is the big one I was talking about. So, you know, that's where you meet the best of the best. So how confident are you right now looking at your competition? You know, now you pretty much know who's going to compete with you, but not to start anything, but how confident are you that you're going to do well for the state of Montana?
You know, all I can do is my best. I am working really hard, and Montana hasn't placed, I believe, since the 1950s. So I would love to be the first person to place in over 60 years, or the first person from Montana to win Miss USA. And I think confidence just comes from believing in yourself and your own capabilities. And I'm just mostly excited to meet all the girls I get to compete with. Every girl who's going to Miss USA is already a winner. They've already won their state, so it's not necessarily about competing against other women as it is bettering yourself.
I like that. I like that. So, Jamie, you started, you know, you were a teen as well. You're also a former Miss Montana Teen USA. Look at that. Look at that image right there. Beautiful. And, you know, if we go back to some other images also, you got some cool experiences there with some of your friends you met, Miss Montana USA. You know, just walk us through, you know, what did that do to you growing up? Just, you know, winning something, because some folks, you know, don't win anything until like later in life. So what would be your advice to someone who is trying to do something right now and they've never won anything, but they're not giving up, they're looking for opportunities? What would you say to someone who doubts themselves about any level of accomplishment?
You know, I talk to a lot of girls about this, actually, because 99% of the women who compete in pageants in Montana have never done a pageant before, and thinking that they don't have a chance. And when I went into it, I didn't think that I had a chance either, but the only thing you can do is try. And each time you compete in a pageant, you do better. So I tell the girls I talk to just take that 20 seconds of bravery to sign up and do it, and they'll love it, and their dreams will come true if you keep coming back and keep trying. I didn't win Miss Montana USA until my 3rd time competing, and I had already competed at Miss Teen USA. So it's all about God's timing and working on yourself. And I just say, if you're hesitating, just do it. Even if you don't win, you'll gain something from the experience.
Absolutely. And Jamie, we can watch you growing up and really look at that image right there. You know, describe to us the moments that you're going through right there when somebody's placing, Miss Montana is placing the crown on your head. You know, describe to the viewers just a feeling of accomplishments that you felt on that day.
I think you can just see it on my face. I have tears running down my face. I have this big smile. It's like a smile cry. I think, I don't know how else to describe it. It was just pure joy. This
Absolutely.
is the dream I have been chasing almost my entire life. And to have that crown, this crown placed on my head, I was in disbelief. I just kept touching it. I couldn't believe that my dreams had finally come true. And honestly, I think I blacked out for a little bit. It was just the best moment of my life.
Absolutely. Now, Jamie, looking at your images, look at that striking image right there. I mean, this is now you to the next level. Was that before you won or after you won?
That was before I won. That was one of my options for the headshots I wanted to use to compete.
Absolutely. So any other experiences in just modeling, because you're pretty tall yourself, any high fashion dreams or anything like that? Because that image right there, if there's anybody that's watching this, ladies and gentlemen, you better get in touch with Ms. Jamie here, because she can do it all. Right?
Yeah, honestly, pageants are an outlet to so many more opportunities. And especially being from Montana, there aren't a lot of opportunities to get into the modeling and entertainment industry. So I would love to expand and hopefully sign with a big modeling agency and travel around our country and move outside of Montana and explore that some more. So I'm just so blessed that this has given me so many opportunities and given me connections to expand.
Well, the good thing about it is that we know so many designers and we know a lot of people that are connected to magazines. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, that's the image you need to look at and consider Miss Jamie, because she is as good as it gets. Now, we talked about the moments of being crowned behind scenes. So let's take a look at your journey right here real quickly. Here we go.
So, are you ready? Your new 2021 Miss Montana USA is JAMI FORSETH. The new 2021 Miss Montana USA.
All right, look at that. Incredible. So what are you saying when you're saying stuff there with your arms up? What are you really saying for the sake of
my mom was actually in that direction. So at first I was just pointing up. I was so grateful to God. I remember praying before the pageant that I would have the opportunity to represent God and myself in his light and just represent him. So that was the first thing. I was thankful to God. And then my mom was sitting over there. So when I was talking, I was pointing at my mom and I said, we're going to Miss USA, because she has been along with this journey for me for almost 10 years now, actually 10 years. And so the first thing I thought of was to point at my mom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to your mom and your dad. They are so gracious. They walked away. You're at their house right now, actually, not to put your spill your beans out there. You went to visit them today and they were so gracious to leave the house so you don't feel the pressure of mom being around. So shout out to your parents for all the support.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're incredible.
Absolutely. Incredible parents. Incredible parents. So, and speaking of shout outs, we can't really, we can't even thank them enough, David and Maureen, for changing so many lives, including your own life right now. And so many young ladies who've been, going through the pageant system, and just incredible. I've had the opportunity to know a lot of them. And now I'm also very happy to be connected with you as well and learn of your story. So what are some of the things that you look forward to doing going forward?
Going forward, I have plans to teach multiple self-defense classes and talk to young girls about healthy relationship boundaries and knowing how to defend them. And I also want to promote safety for women. There's a big problem in Montana, the missing and murdered Indigenous women. A lot of Native American women are being kidnapped and harmed at an alarming rate. So I would love to go on some marches and bring awareness, because Montana needs more resources on our reservations to help prevent this problem. And I also work as a CASA volunteer. So that's a court-appointed special advocate for children in foster care. And I just want to help out as many foster children as I can and hopefully organize some fundraisers now that things are opening up and people can get vaccines, and I can get people together and raise some money for that.
Oh, Jamie, you're doing a fantastic job. And those are all very important causes, obviously bring awareness of things that impact life and, many children living in the state of Montana. So speaking of that, what has been your platform, and going forward, what should people look forward to when it comes to just using your own platform that you've always carried forward since you were a teen?
Since I was a teen, my main thing has been teaching self-defense to young women. I actually used to organize self-defense classes, but I would have somebody else come in and teach before I was certified myself to instruct. And I found that most women were uncomfortable going to a class where a male was teaching. So there's so many men involved in this. And I remember even the 8 years that I was practicing karate, I was one of maybe 2 girls in my class filled with boys. So that's why I got certified myself, so women would feel comfortable in a women-only environment. Because of all people, women need to know how to defend themselves. And I love touring high schools and teaching women, young women, these necessary skills before they go out to college.
Absolutely. No, Jamie, not too many people just wake up and start doing defense classes, especially women, right now. So did you go through some things that actually led you into starting those type of classes, or what really prompted you to think about self-defense as a young lady?
Originally, well, I started practicing karate when I was 8 years old. My dad is a retired lieutenant commander of the United States Navy, and it was so important for him that all of us knew how to defend ourselves. And I'm the youngest of 4 girls, and I was the only one who really sparked an interest in wanting to stick with it. So I started karate when I was 8, and I got my black belt when I was just 12 years old, and continued a couple years after that, and then kind of took a break when I got into high school. And I was actually in an abusive relationship, and that tore me down as a person, and I had a really hard time finding myself. And then when I was at work, I was assaulted by a coworker. And after that, I said, enough is enough. I want to take my life back, and I don't want this to happen to me again. And so I got back involved with MMA and kind of jumped back into it refreshed and started to love it again and knowing how to defend myself. And it's not just about the physical part of defending yourself. It's about building that confidence and knowing how to set boundaries and prevent that from happening. Situational awareness and respecting myself and not being afraid to stand up for myself. And that's when I wanted to start teaching self-defense to other girls. Because if I can just prevent one girl from going through what I went through, that will be an accomplishment of a lifetime.
Oh man, very well said. Behind scenes, we never talked about anything that prompted you to doing what you do. So thank you for sharing that, sentiment of what really, looking at you, you're always happy, you're always smiling and things like that. So I would never know that until when you shared the story. So thank you for doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are watching right now, joining us from all over the world, you hear a lot of stories of women, going through all types of stuff, but find your passion, stand up for yourself, teach others, help others around you, and we can make this world a better place. So I want to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Global Beauty Awards 2021. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much. What an honor. What a thrill this is. I want to dedicate this award to Pamela.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm a change maker. I'm powerful. My name is Megan Gordon, and I am a pageant queen.
To come to America and to win this, I truly cherish it. So thank you to Ekta and Shri, and thank you very much, Maureen. It's a true honor. Thank you.
But I always love coming here, and I'm so excited to be here. Just uplifting. I think right now it's important that we feel good. And one of my favorite sayings I always say is, choose to be happy. And I think everyone tonight has made that decision. We all here choose to be happy and look good while we do it.
This is an event that is like the Academy Awards for the pageant industry. And it's the one and only of its kind. So it's really quite exciting to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting this. First, I have to do this.
I am so happy I won this.
Wow.
What does this Lifetime Achievement Award really mean to you?
I think it's to honor all the barriers that I've broken through. And I always tell people that you may be the first, but you don't want to be the last in the field, that you're going to pave the way for others. And that's my hope. I can pave the way for other women to move forward.
But it's such an amazing event. It's once a year and we all get to see each other.
So it just gives us great pleasure and a heartfelt appreciation that we have a venue like this where we can bring everybody across the world to join together to celebrate pageantry.
But I'm having the most amazing time. I'm a little nervous, but I'm really not prepared to receive this award.
I never thought this would happen, but I told myself be prepared just in case. I'm not.
Do good, because every action that you take for the betterment of our society does actually, in the end, create a positive impact. So don't shy away.
It's done so well
and so eloquently, and the women are beautiful and talented. I'm just so happy to be here.
This is the event where you run into all your sisters.
My mother would tell me, she said, you know what, the race doesn't go to the swift, but to the one that endures. And so I endured and kept going and kept running and kept going.
If you have someone that you would like to nominate for next year's award show, then please visit theglobalbeautyawards.com to become a voting member and nominate a person who is inspiring and uplifting within the pageant industry.
Thank you for joining us back, and we look forward to seeing you at the Global Beauty Awards 2021. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We're watching a live production of Meet the Queens, sponsored by Channel 8 TV. So let's bring back our friend here, Miss JAMI FORSETH, who is the reigning and current Miss Montana USA. JAMI, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. So JAMI, I know that you're excited about the upcoming Global Beauty Awards. So who are you excited to see, and what are your expectations right now?
I actually have never been to the Global Beauty Awards, so I'm really excited to attend my first award show, and it's just so cool because there's no other awards like this. So I think it's really awesome that David and Maureen started this to bring recognition to everyone involved in the pageant community. And honestly, what do David and Maureen not do? My directors run pageants. They did the Beauty Grand Believe Expo, Global Beauty Awards. They're just awesome about empowering women. And I'm really excited because this will be one of the first weekends that I will be with all of my sister queens. So Oregon and Washington were just crowned last month, and Idaho and I were crowned in September. So this is the first event that all four of us will get to be together and spend some time together.
Absolutely. Have you met any of the young ladies, like Miss Washington, Miss Teen Washington?
Yep. I was actually at the pageant when they got crowned, and obviously it was a whirlwind for them, so they were really busy. I did get to meet all of them, so I'm excited to have this weekend to get to know them a little bit better.
Excited. I like what you said, because you said that they're providing an opportunity for young ladies to be seen in the limelight, right? But it's not just only the young men and women, well, just young women, because I also happen to be nominated. So, I don't have the crown, but, I'm right there.
That's what I was going to say. All of the coaches, personal trainer, people in media, there's so many people that are behind the scenes that deserve to be recognized for all the hard work that they do in pageantry.
Absolutely. No, they're very well said. And so definitely shout out to Maureen and David for making this a global platform. So we are so looking forward to being there this year again. And we've been there since the beginning, and it's been just awesome. So I can't wait for you to get that experience as well. So JAMI, moving forward, what are some of the things that you like to do if you don't have the crown on top of you, on top of your head? What are some of the cool things that you do? What do you do to spend time to relax and just have a great time?
Well, being in Montana, one of my favorite things to do is just be outside. I have two dogs, a golden retriever and a yellow lab, and I take them on hikes and walks almost every day. I live in Missoula, a little mountain town, so there's about 20 different hiking trails in the mountain. I love taking them out to do that, whereas inside, I actually love to crochet. Right now, I'm crocheting a baby blanket for my nephew.
JAMI, you do the most outrageous stuff. Your image and what you're talking about is like they don't match at all. But that's what makes it. that's what makes it to be interesting.
A lot of random hobbies.
Yeah, just that's super random. Let's try something kind of like almost normal. Everything else is normal that you just mentioned. What else do you do out of the normal stuff that the rest of us can do?
Out of the normal stuff, well, I guess being involved in pageants in school are the fun things that I do. So right now I'm just super busy touring our state. I love being involved in animal agriculture. My sister and my brother-in-law actually have a ranch in Ekalaka, Montana. So I'm going to go visit them next month, and I would love to spread awareness about how Montana feeds our nation and how important ranching and farming is. So I'm going to do a little Q&A with my brother-in-law and talk about how they run things and why it's sustainable and why it's important.
Absolutely. So before we talk about life expectations and sustainability of our community, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, JAMI, we're going to talk about some of the things that you have coming up in the future. So stay tuned. We'll be right here watching Channel 8 TV. And so welcome back to Channel ATV, where we create opportunities for people to be seen. I know that there are a lot of folks that are doing a lot of good work in the community, and we know that pageantry is one of the outlets that people use their voices to speak out on issues that are happening. And so today we have Miss JAMI FORSETH, who's the reigning Miss Montana USA. And Miss JAMI, obviously we're going through the pandemic right now. Montana is pretty open. Things are almost getting back to normal. Almost. But when you look at others that are in different states and stuff like that, so what would you advise someone right now who's struggling with coping up with a school, or just they can't wait to go back to normal life because their mental capacity is just not really able to be there to process all this stuff of being isolated and things like that? What would you say to someone who's having a hard time right now? How have you adjusted yourself to make sure that you stay on top of everything that you do?
Obviously, I'm blessed to be in Montana during a time like this because I can still be outside. We're just one big small town. So it was really hard for me at first adjusting to being all online for school, especially being a quarantine queen and not being able to do a lot of events in person or any events in person at the beginning of my year. And one thing I shifted my focus on was how can I stay involved in my community, have a social life, and obviously still do appearances through social media. So I have organized live Q&As, fun things with my teen over Instagram lives. We would do Jeopardies and Zoom dates with my friends, and just trying to stay involved and stay productive, even though it is online, and take that time for yourself, check your mental health, do things for yourself that are fun, and still try to get out there while being safe.
Absolutely, JAMI. Very well said. And I think if you're watching and listening to us right now, find your passion. I think this is also a great opportunity for you to explore other things, because now we're forced not to be all over the place. So we kind of have to use this moment to find things and discover other talents, such as crochet, things like that. JAMI, I promise you, next time you call me, I'll be telling you, guess what I'm doing? Practicing. But anyway, moving forward, JAMI, you're preparing right now. Obviously, you've already started to prepare on competing actually for Miss USA. What do you have to do? Like, typically, what type of food do you have to eat? What kind of workout habits do you have for you to prepare for that moment?
Well, as far as working out and diet, I'm working with Fit by Angelo. He is incredible. I've been working with him since about January, and he has completely changed my mindset on having a healthy relationship with food and exercise. So that's what I've been doing as regards of the fitness competition. Other than that, I've been working with multiple interview coaches, just making sure that my interview will be great, not only at Miss USA, but for things like this, being able to communicate and share my thoughts well. And I'm working on walk and just really trying to be involved in my community as much as I can. So when I get to Miss USA, they can see that I'm taking this seriously. And if I were to win Miss USA, I would just want to expand to a national level. And rather than just tour Montana teaching self-defense and promoting foster care or children in foster, promote that throughout the entire nation.
Absolutely. So speaking of practicing for media, so let's do a quick Q&A real quickly. So I'll ask you a question and you just give me one answer. Can you do that?
Sure.
All right. Perfect. Let's do this. I'm excited. This is my favorite moment right now. So describe JAMI FORSETH right now, the current Miss Montana USA. Describe JAMI in one word.
Passionate.
Passionate. Okay. Passionate. Okay, we'll take that. I think that's a cool one. Passionate, and it actually reflects your character. So I'll take that for sure. And I'm gonna ask you what's called the rapid fire. So I'll ask you a question, and you just respond with one answer. Right? Is that okay with you?
Just one word.
Just one word. Favorite color?
Pink.
Oh, you hesitated a little bit.
There's two. There's two.
Oh yeah. See, I knew there's gotta be something else also. So I knew. Okay. All right. Favorite food?
Ice cream.
Ice cream, that's two words.
Does that count? Can I live off of ice cream?
You cannot be the one talking about ice cream. You're talking about the healthy foods, and you.
I know I can't have ice cream right now, so that day after Miss USA will be great. But everything in moderation. So I can have a little bit here.
We'll take that. Everything in moderation. So JAMI, during the crowning moment, at that point, we talked about that, a little bit earlier. What were you thinking in terms of your achievements? How proud are you to see yourself evolve as a young lady to be now this type of a young lady, whereby now you take up leadership roles to where you have to inspire others and stuff like that. So how do you move forward yourself when you have those moments and days where you feel like laid down a little bit, like maybe you're disappointed about something, maybe you didn't perform as much as you wanted to perform? How do you carry yourself and how do you move forward based on your experiences up to now?
Like I talked about earlier, I'd gone through some tough times. And I was really finding myself when I was a teen. So when I decided that I wanted to compete for a Miss title, my number one thought was, I want to live my life as Miss Montana USA would. I don't want to become that person when the crown is on my head. I want to be that person now. So I tried my best to be a role model and build my platform and teach self-defense classes. Years before I even won the title, I competed for 3 years. So this is a long time coming with everything that I'm working on, but I just wanted to be somebody that deserved to be looked up to. I wanted to live my life as a role model. And obviously, nobody has a perfect day every day. So I have had some hard days even after I won my title. So when I'm having those hard days, I just try and do something for myself and remind myself that I'm a role model. And this is the 1 year of my life that I get to focus on myself and my community and work towards Miss USA. So I just remind myself of my blessings, honestly.
Absolutely, Jamie. Very well said. And Jamie, what do you describe as failure in your life?
As far as failure goes, I think that we all experience multiple failures in our life, but I don't see it as a failure unless you give up. It's just a step back. It is a learning lesson. Every time that I didn't win a pageant, I went out of it happy. I was never super sad or disappointed. I did better and better each year for myself, and I learned so much. And I'm a big believer in God's timing. And I'm so blessed that I won this year. There's so many different sponsors I get to work with, people I've gotten to meet, and I'm a little bit older and better, more perfected in my own craft. So this is honestly the perfect time for me. So I take every failure as a lesson.
Jamie, I wish I sounded like you when I was 24 years old. That would be something, because you're 24 right now and you're saying I'm a little bit older. I couldn't help but say something. But you are definitely doing the right things, and you're on your way to stardomship, which you already created for that, like you mentioned. I love the fact that you talked about God. We have something in common. We have the faith in God. And so what would you say to someone who is not believing in anything, just because of maybe sometimes because of their experiences, sometimes not getting the opportunity of someone talking to them? So how do you use your faith to believe in things that are known and making sure that you still stay afloat and you have that zeal moving forward? What would you say to someone who's never been, given that opportunity to know a little bit about God?
I would just take the opportunity to talk about how incredible God is, and how God has shaped my life. There was a time in my life that I didn't really believe in myself, and I stepped away from Christianity, and I don't really like to label myself as a religion. I love God, and I want to have that relationship with him. And for me, it's about doing better and being the best person that I can be. Verse that I love to share with people is, above all else, love one another as I have loved you. So I just love to share God's love and my love for others. And I was actually at my final question for Miss Montana USA was along the lines of, do I believe that In God We Trust should be taken out of the national anthem, or the Pledge of Allegiance? And I was really excited when I got that question, because I've had multiple coaches tell me, don't talk about your faith in pageants, because what if the judges don't believe in God? You might rub them the wrong way and not win because of it. And I always thought, if I don't win this crown because I'm talking about God, then it was not my year. I'd much rather represent him and represent my truest self than be somebody I'm not and win the crown. So I just love spreading his love. And that's the number one thing I like to talk about with people who aren't really sure about God and their beliefs.
Jamie, I'm very proud of you, because a lot of times, when you have God, shining your path, you operate in a very different hemisphere and a very different, pathway. So, and we can clearly see that. So I'd encourage you just to reflect his love. Like you said, no matter what you're doing, if you believe in God, you believe in God. It shouldn't matter what you're doing, whether you're an athlete, you're a pageant queen, you're a medical doctor. You should be able to, talk about the love for God and your experiences and things like that. So absolutely, very, 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 very proud of you. So Jamie, I want to give you this opportunity because, as you know, you didn't come here by yourself. Who are some of the people that actually helped you along the way for you to become a beautiful woman that everybody's looking at today?
Well, obviously my parents and my 3 older sisters have been with me since day one, supporting me, and I would not be here without their help. Emotionally, my parents have helped me financially get here because everyone who's competed in pageants know it is kind of an expensive hobby. So I'm really glad that I've had so many sponsors. When I was a teen, I went around my little town and got anywhere from $20 to $100 from different businesses to help me even just pay my entry fee. So I'm really thankful for all my sponsors that way. And someone I have to give a special shout out to is Pam Copley. She has helped me for the last couple of years. She reached out to me after my first time competing for Miss Montana USA and said, I just really see a lot of potential in you and I would love to help you out. So she's helped me get gowns and work with coaches. So it honestly takes a village. I'm just really thankful for all the sponsors I get to work with this year. A Queen's Conversation, Giselle Boone, Carrie Damiano, Angela Fraser. I'm just, obviously David and Maureen, I'm just really blessed.
Absolutely. I love that most of the folks that you mentioned, they are folks that I've crossed paths with. And so it's a very small world. So we wanted to make sure that we give you that opportunity to shed some light. So folks understand that you didn't get here by yourself. You have the whole team behind you. Absolutely. So as we are about to conclude, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jamie to learn more about some of the final thoughts. And we'll continue from there. Stay tuned. This is Davis from Channel A TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Channel A TV. This is Davis, live here in the state of Washington, having a great conversation with the current reigning Miss Montana USA, Miss JAMI FORSETH, all the way from Montana. So we are excited to have a conversation with her. Miss JAMI, welcome back. It's good to see you. It's very, very good to have you in the studio because you talked about some of the most exciting stuff that we don't even think about as we walk around. So it's good to see you, and thank you so much for being so gracious and giving us the time to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. Most people don't know that you guys have to own, things that facilitate your technology, such as ring lights. I believe you own a ring light,
Yes.
in the most basic way, right?
Yep, I have one that stays at home and one that travels with me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You got 2. All right. Good,
Yeah.
good. Okay. My kind of young lady. Yeah, definitely. So you understand how the system works then.
Mhm.
So, Jamie, social media plays a big role in today's world. So how are you planning to use social media as a tool to, push your agenda forward, the thing to promote the things that you are advocating for, using a platform being one of them? And, how are you going to use technology to your advantage in this moment?
So being raised in a small town, I was never really super into posting and being on social media. But when the pandemic hit and everything shut down, I took to social media in a positive way to connect with people. And especially being a title holder, I've really had to pick up my social media game recently.
Right, I know, right?
And interacting with people. And it's been really fun. My team lives in Ekalaka, Montana. I live in Missoula, Montana. We're about 10 hours apart on the other side of the state. So I've gotten to do a couple of Instagram lives with her, which has been super fun so people can get to know us. And I'm doing some Q&As on my story soon so people can ask questions about agriculture and ranching in Montana. And then I'm going to do a live video and post about that and answer some of those questions. So it's really fun to help people in different parts of the country learn about the lifestyle of Montana.
Absolutely. Now, I know that in the perfect world, people will be asking you questions to learn about the lifestyle in Montana and the type of food that's there and all the wonderful weather and all that good stuff, right? But so how do you deal with backlash on social media? Because I know that's a big issue right now, especially to folks just being mean, flat out mean to different people. So how do you handle, negativity from, coming from the community on social media?
I think it's really important that people ask questions. So I try to answer all the questions that I can as long as it's in a positive way. As far as bullying goes, I'm sure everyone has experienced bullying in their lifetime, especially a title holder, somebody who has a platform where thousands of people from different lifestyles are following you. They're going to disagree with you. And that's totally fine. But when it comes to bullying, I honestly just ignore it. I will delete them. If they don't like me, then they don't have to follow me. That's okay. But I have zero tolerance when it comes to bullying. So I just don't interact with that.
Absolutely. So would you then definitely encourage someone to just move around and block everybody that's sending all type of mean posts and stuff?
Yeah, actually my teen experienced some bullying and I was able to help her through that. And the number one advice I gave her is if somebody's harassing you, first of all, tell somebody about it and block them. But if they're just being mean, ignore it or delete it. There's no point interacting with somebody who's just trying to tear you down.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie is sharing with us all the good stuff about social media, the tips and everything else. So if you're interested to connect with Jamie, you can see the information scrolling right there. You can connect with Jamie on all social media platforms at JAMI FORSETH. And Jamie, I know that you're also now, you took over the Miss Montana USA, platform, right? Which is both Facebook and Instagram.
Yep, on Facebook, it's just Miss Montana USA. On Instagram, it's at Miss MT USA.
Miss MT USA. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the pages for you to connect with Jamie if you're interested to learn more about the agenda and the platform. So, we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna talk to Jamie, give her the moment to say her last words. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us right now late from wherever you're watching us from, we are having a great conversation with Miss Jamie, who is the reigning Miss Montana USA, on her way to Miss USA, the big one, like I call it. So stay tuned, to be right back. All right, welcome back to Channel ATV. If you are joining us right now, thank you so much. We're having a great conversation with Ms. JAMI FORSETH, who is on social media. You can see the information scrolling down right there. You can follow her and actually connect with her, get to learn a little bit about her story and how she plans to use her platform going forward. Ms. JAMI, welcome back. It's good to see you, and it's good to have you in the studio again, virtually, right? That is.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know that you're very excited about your reign, and you're also looking forward to a lot of opportunities that are coming your way. In terms of how you can make the state of Montana better and just humanity in general. So what is the most important thing that you want to be remembered for? When your time is over.
I would love to be remembered by just being a light in my community and doing what I can to make my community better and bring light to God and things that are important to me, women's self-defense, bringing awareness to the missing and murdered Indigenous women problem that we have in Montana around our reservations, and bringing awareness to children in foster care and what they go through in the system.
Absolutely. And Jamie, there's a teen right there who's watching you right now who wants to compete for Miss Montana Teen USA. What would be your last word to encourage that young lady who wants to become, Miss Montana Teen one day, just like you did? What would be your advice to a young lady who's looking up to you as, a figure that's representative of, her dreams?
My best advice is just to go for it. There are so many teens, especially in Montana, like my teen Katie right now. She won on her first try. I actually was able to meet with her about 2 months before the pageant, and she had no idea what she's getting herself into. And so I was able to give her some advice and encourage her, and she was just herself on stage. She competed against a lot of girls who were pretty experienced, and she stayed true to herself and her beliefs, and that shined through, and the judges loved her. So just be brave, believe in yourself, and go for it. And if you're yourself and you're having fun, the judges are going to see that and you're going to do really well.
All right, Jamie, that's very good and very good advice to some of the young ladies who are planning to compete for pageantry. And Jamie, this is one of my favorite questions, but most important question for me. When it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
I would just love to be remembered by being a light in my community and always being positive and having fun. And hopefully, especially this summer, since things are opened up, getting to interact and make as many connections as I can with people. And I would love to be remembered as the shining light in Montana and always being happy and positive and having fun and making a positive impact in my community.
A shining moment and a shining woman in Montana. So Montana should be very proud of having the right queen that could always do. So Jamie, it's been a pleasure having you in the studio, and it's just we are so excited to follow your journey, as you compete in all the way to Miss USA 2021. So we are excited. We're going to be watching you on TV. I'll probably be there myself if things continue to open up the way they are looking right now. So thank you so much. I want to give you the opportunity to say any last words before we let you go.
I'm just so blessed to be able to represent Montana this year, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's tuning in and supporting me. The Miss USA contestants have gone through a lot this year with things shutting down, and we're just so appreciative of everyone's support, and I just love you all.
Miss JAMI FORSETH, Miss Montana USA 2021. It's a pleasure talking to you, and we'll be connecting with you as we always do. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your grace, and continue shining and talking about God the way you talked about him today, because it's very necessary, especially in our lives right now. So thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us on all social media platforms. You can connect with Channel 8 TV by going to our website, channel8tv.org. We love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. We would like to thank Maureen and David for giving us the opportunity to talk to all the queens. And thank you so much. God bless you. We'll see you soon.